Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome dear learners. This is a video for the subject of education, for the course of Bachelor's in Education and for the paper of Educational Technology. This video is based on teaching learning strategies and materials, and this lecture is going to discuss about the computer managed instructions. This video is recorded by Dr. Iram Khan. The course coordinator and the presenter of this video is Dr. Iram Khan from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. The academic expert or the reviewer of this video is Professor Jasim Ahmed from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. This video is produced under the project DTH Swayam Prabha Channels of Ministry of Education, Government of India. Hello dear students, I am Dr. Iram Khan, Assistant Professor at Institute of Advanced Studies in Education, Faculty of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Today we will be discussing the teaching learning strategies and materials, and here the lecture which I am going to deliberate is titled as Computer Managed Instruction. Let us start with the objectives first. The objectives of this session are to discuss the meaning and definition of computer managed instruction and to elaborate the steps followed by the computer managed instruction. So what is the computer managed instruction, or in abbreviation we call it as CMI? Basically it stands for the instruction which is managed with the help of computers or any sort of system which is managed by the computer. This CMI directly calls for the services and applications of the computers in the field of instruction. However, in the language of computer technology, these computer managed instructions can be defined as a category of computer program that may be used by educators and the teachers and also the instructors to organize and manage data related to instruction for attaining the stipulated institutional objectives in a most effective way. So this can be a definition which we can give for the computer managed instruction. It is basically one type of computer program, and this computer program can be used by the teachers or the course developers for organizing a complete course. So if a teacher is running a massive open online course or a simple online course, there would be some material, some data which this teacher would be providing to the students in the form of instructions, and it will be periodic. Like the first day there will be some material which is provided, and then the second day, then the third day, and then some assessment would be taken, and then all these information, the assessment records will be managed somehow by the machine. So all these things are managed by the computer systems, and the management is governed by the developer or in few of the cases the course coordinator or the person who is the teacher or the instructor. So this is somehow a machine and human beings interaction, a very collaborative effort of where the machine is collaborating with the uh, human, and a complete system or a course is being managed. We will be discussing a lot about this particular thing. The entire process, the steps, everything we are going to make clear here in this lecture, which is related to the computer managed instruction, or whenever computer is helping us to run a course, which is nowadays very, very popular. And it is helping us out in those situations where we have to provide online classes and we have to provide the entire curriculum in a very structured way to our students. Let us see that how the instructions are managed by the computers. Basically, what is the way in which the computers manage? What are those steps which are followed once we are running a computer managed course or a program? So, as we have seen in the definition, computers are able to perform the task of managing instructions with the help of a category of suitable software program. And this software program is the, you can say, the soul or the heart and soul of the entire system. This computer program or the software program is specifically designed for the purpose for which this course is actually meant for. So some of the functions which are performed with the help of such software, which are specifically developed and which are related to the organization and management of instructions, we are going to discuss here. And all those steps are actually, whenever we are running a course, all these steps are step by step, like in a in an order, are followed for running a proper program, for management of a proper course or any program which is led through the computers. So the first step or the first thing which we do is to diagnose the entry behavior of the learners before starting any of the programs, or before even planning the program or a computer led online course. The computer programs basically are designed in a way where we are going to provide the information to the students and the students are going to provide their responses. So uh, if we are designing a course, we have to see that who will be the takers. And for those takers, we have to see that what exactly should be the desired entry behavior. If we are running a course for, let's take the example of B.Ed, so the entry behavior would be compatible to a student who will be taking admission to a B.Ed course. It should not be a 10th class student, or maybe somebody who is not aware of all those things. So entry behavior is very important to see. So computer programs help in the early diagnosis of the strengths and weaknesses of the learners in terms of their previous knowledge and the experiences which are related to a particular knowledge and skill area, their interest, also the aptitude of the students and the attitude, the needs and the motives, and also the other type of things like the personality traits. For why but the personality traits are required? Basically, we will be determining their potentiality, and if we are in a position to determine their potentials, then we can go ahead in the learning of a particular instructional course or achieving a set of instructional objectives in a much better way. So that is why this entry behavior of the learners is a must to diagnose in even a like computer managed instruction or a system where we are running an online course. The second step is to set the instructional objectives. Like in case of a normal class, we always prepare a lesson plan, or we jot down some of those points which we are going to disseminate to our students. Here in this case of a computer managed instruction, we set the instructional objectives. We try to make a kind of like smooth written objectives, that what exactly will be the objective, the complete objective of our course, and this is done in the beginning itself. So the computer softwares are available that can help in analyzing the test data and also the results of the diagnostic testing. Like we have done the first step where we have diagnosed the entry behavior. So we have got some data. On the basis of this data which we have received from the diagnostic test, we can actually, this data will be stored in the database, and this information about the characteristics of the learners in relation to the needs and the purposes which are served by a particular type of instruction at one or the other stage at school or college, or even at home kind of situation, or any form of education. But what we can do, we can make out that what should be the instructional objectives. This entry behavior testing or the diagnosis and the data which is actually gathered from this diagnostic test will be helping us to design the instructional objectives. Setting of the instructional objectives will also be helpful for actually taking our course forward in a better way. And this the analysis of the diagnostic data will also help in formulating the goals and objectives. These objectives can be educational as well as institutional. And for a particular course or a piece of instruction, the objectives will be formulated in a very proper way. So if suppose we are running a course which is based on a paper of the major course of B.Ed, let's say the paper of educational technology, and we are creating the instructional objectives for this particular paper, which is right now for this system, it is given as a course. We have to make all those instructional objectives which we are going to complete or fulfill by the end of the course. So the student will be in a position to achieve all those instructional objectives once the student will complete this course. The third step is to generate individualized instructional plans. What exactly this means? Actually, depending upon the need, the characteristics, the nature, and the learners who have actually got admitted to the course or to the computer program, or maybe if there is a institution and the institution is providing um, the the material and the instructions on through a LMS or through a learning management system, or this type of internal systems are also there in few of those institutions. The institutional authorities know the learners, and also once they are admitted and the diagnosis has happened, diagnostic test is taken, and on the basis of that, once we have formulated the objectives, we will be in as a teacher or as a course developer, we will be in a position to know what are the students and what exactly is the nature and the set of behavior, or maybe the level of the knowledge which actually the learners are having. So we will be in a position to know the nature and individuality of the learners. And the computer system will be able to generate and organize individualized instructional plans for countless learners. And this can be this can be actually very much personalized. So if you have got a student who is very average, or you can say somehow is having a slow pace of learning, the learner can be given a plan by the system, by the computer, in the very individualized way in which this student needs. If the student has got a learner who is gifted and takes very less time to comprehend or to complete the chapters or the material, even the system can individualize his or her own way of learning, and the materials which are provided in a week, like to the average student, maybe the system is providing two lessons in a week. Maybe to this gifted student, after the diagnosis and everything, the system will be providing 4 or 5 lessons in a week. And even in the same way, the assessments will be given. So this is also somehow possible here in the computer managed system. And suppose we have got a student who is having some sort of special requirement. The student is having some sort of difficulty. Maybe the student is having some visual difficulty or visual impairment, or maybe a hard to hearing student is enrolled. in that case, even the system will be having certain assistive type of uh, technology which is going to help out the student in running through the course, the content. There will be certain facilities which will be machine built, which will be integrated with the system, and the system, on the basis of the diagnosis which is done, will identify that who is the learner and what exactly is the demand of this learner, and accordingly the instructions and these services will be provided to the student by the machine. So it is a very democratic and very individualized kind of system which can be managed here through the computer programs or computer managed instructions. This was the third step, where we along with the uh, computer, the teacher and the computer will be trying to generalize or trying to create a individualized instructional plan. The next step will be to generate instructional materials and learning experiences. So in the previous step, learning materials, the frequency and the ways, the methods were all like devised, and on the basis of the need, whatever the student is requiring, the arrangement will be done. So it will be a kind of management thing. And here, for this entire thing, there will be some material which is required, hardcore material, hardcore experiences, list of experiences, things which will be done by the student. So this is also done here in this course or in this computer managed system, and this is going to be according to the suitability of the individualized instructional plans and the strategies which the computer software can generate appropriate, like the computer system can generate appropriate instructional material and opportunities of interactive learning experiences to the learners of varying needs, interests, and abilities. So here you don't have to confuse that the system is going to create the material. The system will be managing the material. The material definitely will be created by the teacher, but the teacher is going to upload the material to the system, and the teacher is going to give instruction to the like the program. The computer program will be basically created by the learner or the programmer. If the programmer is creating, then the instructions will be given to the programmer by the teacher. So the teacher will be creating the materials and will be uploading here, and then it will also be instructed that how, if you have got a gifted learner which is identified by the diagnostic test, what will be the frequency of the material which should be given, and in the same way to the next set of students. So a huge data bank of all type of information and instructional material is easily available through well prepared software packages, websites, online conferencing, networking, and from the sea of resources. If the teacher is not in a position to create a material, definitely the teacher can go and search for many of those material from the online repositories, from different material which is available over the internet, freely available, because we have to take care of that whatever we are taking from anywhere should be either open educational resource or it should be uh, not copyrighted or plagiarized. So we have to take, or if we are taking somebody's material and it is not open educational resource, then we have to go for the permissions and all. So in this way, even the content which is created by somebody else or which is borrowed can also be taken and used here, but we have to make sure that it should not be plagiarized, or either it should be open educational resource. And here in this machine, in the computers, in this computer managed system, the individualized library can be created where the data can be pooled and which can be used for the sake of providing to the students in their own way. So the material which is generated and developed for instructional purposes may be used on a computer-based system or in other forms of instruction. Like in case of other types, where we can go for programmed instruction, or we can even go for systems where things are kept, like there are semi computer managed systems where there is a pool of data which is there in the system, and the teacher, on the basis of his or her own need, will provide the projects or will provide the assignments to the students, and even the presentations can be done. And once the teacher is asking the students to complete their assignments and submit it, they can come and they can actually pool the assignments here in the system, in the computer managed system. And a very good example is the classrooms, which are actually the online classrooms, which are running very smoothly by teachers and the students, and they are very useful because here if a teacher is dealing with a lot of students and a lot of courses, then maybe if the students are going to send the assignment to the teacher through the email, maybe the email box is going to crash in 2 or 3 consequent semesters. But if you have got a classroom or you have got a learning management system, or which is computer led, you can actually create individualized classrooms. Or if there is an institutional learning management system, then it will be helping you out to manage the studies, for providing material, for providing periodic assignments, and actually collecting the assignments. It will be a great help for the students. Even like if there is a library which is created, so if in 1 year, like the 1 year the teacher has created something excellent in terms of material, and the teacher is willing to update, that is also possible. And in the consequent year, the teachers uh, will not be taking pain to actually create the thing again. It will be stored and pooled here in the library, and it can be shared to the students, the next set of students, without any hassle. So these are the eases which we can be providing, the computers provide, the systems provide to the teachers. So most of the developed instructional material have been programmed in the form of tutorials, or in the form of practical or drill form, or maybe some sort of simulation, and gaming models are also introduced nowadays to the learning management systems. And even the practicals and things which are activity based can be integrated to the learning management system, and can be provided, the experiences can be provided to the learners through these systems, which are uh, somehow we cannot compare, but they are somehow better than the traditional instructional material which is available. Because if there is a situation where face-to-face teaching is somehow not possible, then it is going to provide immense help to both, to the teacher and to the student both. So it will be lifesaver in the situations when online teaching is only the way in which we can manage and save the time and save uh, the entire educational system through the help of the computer managed instructions. The next step is the availability of instructional material into curriculum units. So we were just discussing that we have created a lot of instructional material, or we have selected from the various places uh, which are available, which are readily available, where the content is available. We have selected, as a teacher, we went through the entire content, and we selected some set of material which are plagiarism free and which are open educational resources and are also very much suitable. Now here the point is that how we are going to properly organize and manage the instructions. For that purpose, we have to make a kind of inventory of the instructional resources which are available to the learners, and this can be stored in the computer. Like in the first week, we will be providing this much instructional material, and there will be a set of questions which is compulsory for students to answer. In the second week, maybe we are going to give them two small modules. So the modules or the material, like in the first week, the introductory module was given, material was given, which was a little bit bigger. So that is why we have given just one. But in the second week, there are two small topics which are given. So they are small, and the teacher feels that it can be covered. So here in the system, all these instructions will be managed. All these instructions will be written. So the total resources may be divided into properly required units or modules which have clearly specified set of objectives. And all these will be very clear. The directions which are given for the purpose of instructing the learners by the system, all those directions, the instructions should be very clear, so that the the process of telling it or communicating it to the learners, that what is to be done for achieving that stipulated objective, will become very clear and easy for the system. Because computers, like in the computer managed system, whatever you are going to instruct the system, the same is going to be followed. So your instructions as a teacher, you have to give very clear instructions. Now, even you can ask the student to read a chapter or a book, or the student can be given a task where there is a research paper or some sort of paper which the student has to actually read, and on the basis of that reading, the student has to be to complete some sort of activity or an exercise, or the student has to conduct some experiment with the help of the science kit which is created in the class, or maybe the science kit which is virtually created. The student has to go to so and so place, so that the address of that place where the virtual science kit is available should also be given here in this instruction, if we are asking them to do some virtual experiments. If they have to go to attend some group discussions, they have to do some sort of group activity, that should also be instructed properly. If the teacher is willing to show them some sort of documentary or a small movie which is based on the set of topics which are being taught, and the movie can be helpful to understand the topic by the students, even that instruction should be very clearly given, and the movie should be, or the documentary should be uploaded, and the instructions that what should be done after viewing the documentary should be clearly mentioned. So these compartmentalization or the division of the material into proper units should be done very properly, and this prescribed form of units or the modules should be having very proper instructions that what is to be done next, then next. So it should be very clearly written by the programmer or by the teacher, so that the computers can actually uh, access this information properly, and the processing which happens inside the computer should be very clearly administered, so that the progress of the learners can be monitored properly, it can be done properly by the students, and then monitored properly by the system. And the movement, the progress of one from one module or one week to another week becomes very swift and without any hassle. So this is the next step. The other step which comes after this particular step is the monitoring of the progress. So as we are seeing that the learning process is happening, and we are just trying to make it very swift, very comfortable, and without any hassle, the next importance should be given to monitor the progress. Whatever efforts we are doing as a teacher, and also the computer is managing all those instructions and the material. How effective they all are will be assessed only if we monitor the progress. So the effectiveness of the instruction, the material, whatever ways, methodologies we are using, can be adjusted only by the help of proper monitoring. Monitoring the progress of each and every individual learner in a proper and satisfactory way. So what the student is doing or will be doing in future can be properly monitored with the help of the immense capacity of the computers, because computers can keep track of the countless learners, their countless activities, their progress, and whatever outputs they are giving to the instructions. The inputs are those instructions which we are giving, and what outputs the learners are actually creating. Every single um, every single act can be monitored. So this is the strength of the computer, and we have to use it. So the the computer will be in a position to register the low achievement of the learners in case this achievement is low, and even the computer will be in a position to detect the problematic areas, the deficiencies in learning. That the learner is not giving sufficient time to read the material which the teacher has given to read. Even the system can make out that how much time the student has invested on reading this particular set of materials. The student has skipped pages, or the student has thoroughly read like it is very obvious that if the student is trying to make some sort of mischiefs, it's possible. Like if the student is opening the page and spending some time or while the page is open but not reading, that cannot be monitored. But no, in normal case, if the student is opening a page and spending some sort of time which is required to read the entire material and then going to the next page, this can be monitored by the system. So the deficiencies, the problems can also be detected, and if the problems can be detected, you can make out that after checking out that what is the probable cause, even the suggestions can be provided that what is to be done. You must have seen, like if you go through any of the online courses, if there is a question which is to be answered in between a lecture, uh, and suppose you have given a wrong answer, the system will not provide you the right answer instantaneously. The system will ask you to go to that particular point where that topic was discussed. So now you have to go through that lecture again from that point to this point, and then you have to again answer the question. So in this way, the system redirects, the computer redirects a learner to go to that particular point, relook, uh, re like review the particular portion of that video or the material, and then try to give the answer. So this is somehow uh, a way in which we can overcome the learning difficulties. We can provide constructive suggestions. And these suggestions are uh, actually structured here in the system, and the system is capable of giving these suggestions on the basis of analyzing the data in a proper way. So this is not like here, this is something which is very much individualized. I'm not able to answer, so this is not monitored by the teacher. Actually, the computer system is managing and monitoring my progress, and it will suggest me to go to that particular point, go ahead and see that lecture again and come back and give the answer. If you are right in this, like for the second time or for the third time, then your answer will be correct, and then you can move ahead. So this is somehow the monitoring progress, which helps the learner to move ahead and learn the topic in a very proper way by the help of this computer managed instruction. The next step is to provide the remedial instructions. Computer software can very well manage, and it can also help us to make progress related to the remedial instructions to those learners who require the remedial instructions. It will not give to every learner. It will only give the remedial instruction to those who are requiring. And on the basis of the different learning difficulties or the problematic situations which are diagnosed and the probable cause is also detected, these software can suggest all the possible remedies which are helpful in the planning and organization of the instruction. And like in case in a course or in a program, if a student is feeling a difficulty in the work which is related to a prescribed unit, this learner may be helped in learning the necessary prerequisites for that unit so that the learner can be comfortable, now becomes comfortable. The learner was supposed to study something and he was or she was not in a position to study it because some basics were not clear. So the computer, if the learner is providing some sort of cues, because there will be assessment questions, the learner is not able to give the right answer, the system will detect that okay, the basics are not clear. So the system will be having certain data which is to be given to the learner in case there is a problem detected in the basics. So here the system will automatically provide that basic information to the learner. And with the help of this basic information, the learner can brush up the basics and go ahead with the advanced material. So this is somehow motivational and problem solver. And a suggestion may be forwarded to the learner to review the goals or help the learner to see the relationship between the present unit and the achievement of those goals. The next step is the management of information and record keeping. Computer software may help in a very big way for the collection and storage and also the classification and dissemination of information through a well organized system of record keeping and its maintenance. Storage of information and record keeping are very much essential for the proper organization and management of any type of instruction. The teachers and the learners may get a kind of substantial help for their teaching and learning from this immense information which is stored, and such information and the data which is related to their respective field of teaching learning actually acts as a very useful aid for them. All types of information and data which is related to the interest, their abilities, the abilities of the students, then the educational and environmental backgrounds of the learners, which is giving a cue to their past and present, can be very well available for the students in their instructional outputs and overall welfare. So the teachers can actually make out the strengths and weaknesses, and accordingly they can plan the strategy for teaching. So the educational progress can be very well monitored and maintained through the help of well maintained data, and also the recording of the data is here very important for all the individual learners, which may prove quite helpful in maintaining an essential link between the classroom instructions and the administrative management of the institution for which this computer managed instruction is actually working. The next step is the organization of testing and evaluation process. You can see that the testing and evaluation of any program can be pivotal in terms of the success of that program. And computer software may provide valuable services in the task of managing and organizing the testing and evaluation programs which is related to the classroom instructions and educational progress of the students in a variety of ways. The computer programs are helpful in assessing the study behavior of the students for getting them admitted to a course of academic or professional study. And even in later stages, uh, they will be helpful to provide some sort of chapter and assessment questions or chapter and evaluation, or maybe unit after the unit the evaluation which is done, or maybe after a semester whatever evaluation is required, that can be done. And this is very much possible through the well framed unit or course tests and other evaluation techniques which are available with the suitable software in this computer system. So computer managed testing can set unit-wise questions distributed over a category of objectives which are belonging to different domains of learners, and this is somehow on the basis of the behavior of the students. From the pooled data, uh, the the behavior of the student can be assessed, and from the pooled set of questions which are popularly known as the question bank, the system can assort the questions very carefully, select the questions very carefully, and can formulate a test paper which can be actually based on the difficulty level and also the discrimination index, the content which is covered in that particular time for which the test is being taken, and also the objectives which are there, which are to be tested. So on all these bases, the system is going to analyze and create a question paper or test paper from the pool of questions which are created by the teacher in the beginning itself. So the question bank is also created whenever this type of computer managed systems are created. So it basically enables, the question bank enables the system to formulate personalized question papers and testing papers for the students. There is no any problem of any kind of cheating or paper leak, which is somehow very common in case of the offline exams, paper leak and all those things. So because here the testing will be randomized, the question paper will be very randomly prepared. So there will be no any question of paper leak. And a number of identical sets of question papers can be actually created by the system, and they will be available for the proper administration and checking of any type of malpractice during the examination. So the chance of uh, any type of misconduct or malpractice in the examination is actually overlooked. It is not possible or minimized. At least we can say that very, very much minimized. Even the chances of grammatical mistakes, language and printing errors, which are seen somehow in the offline papers, can also be minimized with these type of testing programs, because the question banks are checked properly, and periodically the checking is done every year, or like once the one cycle is over for course, normally a revision is done, and some sort of checking for all the components is done by the course developer. So very less chances are there for any type of typographical error or printing error. So it is also minimized. So you can see that how much advantages it can actually place in front of you. And also, once you come to the assessment, like you are supposed to check the copies, you have to make a scoring and interpretation of the results. That is also very easy here, because even you can create a rubric. Suppose you have to give a open-ended answer, or maybe one question which is having a different parts, a rubric can be created by the teacher, which is integrated here in the machine, and on the basis of that rubric, even you can make a scoring of the questions. And the system is in a position to make out a proper interpretation of that scoring and give the results. In this case, the traditional human errors will be minimized or can be actually, it is not possible for us to go for all those human errors because everything is done by the machine, and machine is going to work with very precisely. So if a rubric is properly prepared, then you can expect a very proper scoring and interpretation of the scoring in the form of a result through the system or the computer managed instruction. The next step is the generation of the report, all type of reports. Basically, if you want a report in the form of a certificate or in the form of a report card, anything is possible. It is just to be fed here in the system that what exactly is required. So computer software help the progress this entire process, and the processing of the outputs of the instructional programs by generating the progress and information reports related to the task of the instruction is very properly done by the system. If you need the report related to the entry behavior of the student, it is available on the computer hard disk or in the system itself. Even in the course, if you go to the dashboard, you can find your progress. You can see that what exactly was the level of your understanding in terms of that particular topic in the beginning, what you did in the first week, how much your scores were in the second week, in the third week, and the fourth week, and in the same way, the entire assessment sheet is available on the dashboard. If a student is willing to see her progress, it is possible. If a teacher is willing to monitor the progress of the student, that is also possible. And if you want to make a printout, like if you want to print the copy of that particular score sheet so that you can plan your uh, another course or another purpose, that is also possible. If you want to create individualized instructions on the basis of this particular course which you have given to the student for the second course, that is also possible because every record is actually given there of every student. So on the basis of analysis, you can make out that what is the next uh, course of action which you have to take if you want to make a sequential course, which can be the advanced course, which is going uh, to come up after this course. So this is somehow a way in which you can plan your actions in your future, and even it can become a source of uh, data for different type of researches. You can go ahead and analyze this data and use it in the researches to see that what exactly is the effectiveness of all these courses. So the data regarding the available instructional resources, the different aids, different equipment, unit-wise organization of the curriculum, and the progress of the students in terms of attainment of the instructional objectives. Everything is readily available in the system. So you have got every discrete information related to the progress of the student. So it can become a very interesting data for the researchers. And nowadays, a lot of researches are happening in this area, in the area of massive open online courses, in the area of other type of online courses. What exactly is their effectiveness, how we can go for different, using different type of platforms, and how we can devise different type of management systems. So the testing, evaluation, and the progress reports of the individual learners and the group of the entire class can be generated through the computers and can be sent to the parents or to uh, the guardians, and we can actually provide them the uh, exact information of the students, their children's progress, for seeking their help for the welfare of their children. So we can even make them the part of the education process, the progress of their own children. So such type of reports can also be used for the removal of the learning difficulties, or like all those deficiencies, and the um, like solving the problems of the students in terms of uh, any type of uh, issues which they are facing. We can nurture them, we can nurture their talents and their creativity. If we know that what type of special talents which they are having, then we can nurture those creativities. So it is very, very useful if we are having the records and the reports in our hands, which is giving us a very important cue in terms of the progress of our students, our children. So in this way, the computer softwares and their applications may be utilized for arranging and managing all the essential efforts related to the processes and the products of classroom instructions. And in the field of computer managed instruction, uh, basically we can say that it is very vast. It cannot be limited to the boundary walls of the usual classroom and school students. It basically encircles all type of even self-learning and distance education modes, and it reaches all types of learners and their instructions, such as even uh, to the adult learners, to the disabled, to the special education institutions, mass education programs, in case of exceptional children, in case of disabled and disadvantaged groups of children, and in the societies where you can find people who are requiring some special type of efforts for educating them. For all of them, this computer managed instructions can be proved to be very useful. And that is why the computer managed instruction may be credited um, to be capable of managing the entire spectrum of teaching, learning, or instructional process, covering all the fields of areas of our education system in the present scenario. It is such a useful uh, thing that even in case of situations where offline education is difficult to provide, we can save the time and the energy and all those cases where we can help our students with the help of computers, with the help of this computer managed instruction sitting at home. The teachers can help the students in a very effective way to actually go ahead and learn their topics, so that the time and energy is not wasted and is used in a very constructive way. Let us sum up. So computer managed instructions, or CMI, they stand as a category of computer program that may be used by the educators and the instructors to organize and manage data which is related to instruction for attaining the desired instructional objectives in a most effective way, in the best way possible. We have also discussed here in this topic that computer managed instruction may prove very helpful and advantageous in serving so many useful purposes, and these purposes can range from the diagnosis of entry behavior of the learners, then setting up of instructional objectives. These are the steps. So they follow each other. So generating individualized instructional plans, then generating instructional materials and learning experiences, then availing instructional material into the curriculum units, then monitoring the progress of each and every individual learner, then providing remedial instructions to the needy learners, management of the task of information gathering and record keeping, organization of testing and evaluation programs, and also to generate all types of progress and information reports related to the task of instruction. So, in these useful steps, or in these useful ways, we can serve the purpose of providing the computer managed instruction, which proves to be very useful and helpful in the situations where offline instructions are difficult to manage, and these computer managed instructions are proving to be lifesavers in such type of situations. These are few of those references and the links which were used for the creation of this lecture. You can also go ahead and study more through these material. And for this time, it's all from my side. Let us see each other in another session, another time. Thank you so much. Dear learners, you are watching a video on the teaching learning strategies and materials, and in this lecture we discussed about the computer managed instruction. This video lecture was recorded by faculty at home during the homebound situation of COVID-19 pandemic using minimal technical resources. Technical errors, if any, are unintentional and may please be ignored. For any queries with regard to this lecture or broadcast, kindly send your email to techsupport@dth.ac.in. Thank you so much.